everybody. Welcome to another segment of Smarterfan podcast, where we bring you behind the veil of sports, business, and life. I'm Joe, and this is Barry. How you doing, Barry?
Oh, I'm cooking soup, steak, lamb, chicken, fish. It's on fire. The whole sports world, everything, everybody's become a broadcaster. It's a sports frenzy out there, Joe.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
Everybody talking. Everybody
Yeah,
trying to be heard. But I'm doing good, buddy. How you feeling?
I'm feeling just fine. Just fine.
Awesome. What you got tonight?
All right, I'm going to talk about a young lady by the name of Betsy Jochum.
Okay.
Now, she was the last surviving member of the original All American Girls Professional Baseball League.
Oh wow.
Okay. Um, Now, she was one of three kids of Hungarian parents who immigrated to the U.S. and settled in Cincinnati.
Mhm.
Right. She played sandlot ball at 8 and organized softball at 12. And in high school, she played basketball, volleyball, track and field, and softball. Now, when she left high school, she worked in a meatpacking house and played semi pro softball for the company team.
Mhm.
So now she entered the league in 43 and she spent her entire 6 years in with the South Bend Blue Sox. Now, the other three teams were the Racine Bells, the Kenosha Comets, and the Rockford Peaches.
Mhm.
Now, she played center, left, first base, and she pitched.
Mhm.
Now, in her rookie year, she batted 273,
Yeesh.
and she led the league in at bats, hits, singles, doubles, and she had 66 stolen bases.
Oh, she could run too.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. Now, she was selected to the All Star game, which was the first night game ever played at Wrigley Field in 43.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Now, in her second year, she led the league with a 295 average, which was considerable considering that was the dead ball era,
Mm.
you know. So now in 47, the league allowed full sidearm pitching delivery. And she had a hard time adjusting to that, and her average dropped to 211.
Hmm.
Now, the one person who adjusted well to this was Dorothy Kamenchek of the Rockford Peaches. Now, she led the league with a 316 average.
Mm.
Now, this is significant because uh, Gina Davis's character, Dottie Hinson, in the
Hmm.
movie A League of Their Own, was
Hmm.
loosely based on her.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So now in 48, the league switched to overhand pitching, and that's where Betsy found her mark. Uh,
Okay.
sh- she became a good pitcher. Um, and in her final season, she had a 1.51 ERA
Hmm.
and 103 strikeouts in 215 innings.
Girl's doing work.
Oh, you know it. Now, the Blue Sox made the playoffs three times in her career, losing to the Racine Bells in 46 and the Grand Rapids Chicks in 47 and 48.
Hmm.
Now, the league ranged from 4 teams in 43 to 10 teams in 48 to 5 teams in 54, which was the last season of the league.
Hmm.
Now, after she quit the league after the 48th season, after finding out that she was acquired by the Peoria Red Wings. So she left and she got her bachelor's and her master's in phys ed.
Hmm.
And after 26 years of that, she retired in 83.
Wow.
Now, in 88, along with the rest of the league, they were inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Wow.
Now, in 99, she was enshrined into the Ohio Baseball of Fame and Museum, and her uniform was on display with the Smiths, which was promoted by the Smithsonian.
Interesting.
Yeah, and unfortunately, she passed away at the end of May of this year at the
Hmm.
age of 104.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
So,
Amazing.
oh yeah, she was a special lady, that's for
Wow.
sure.
104. boy, man.
Bless. God bless.
You know, it's funny as you were naming the names of those teams.
Mm.
Those teams were named. Notice they were company teams tied to their product.
Mm-hmm.
So there was two things going on: entertainment and selling product to
Mm-hmm.
the public. And so what I tell people all the time, really sports was designed for business to sell product
Oh, no doubt.
because you got captive eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what people think is just a love of sport. No, it's to sell product. Get your product in front of the market and sell more product.
That's
So
right.
they've been married from the very beginning. From the very beginning. Yes, sir.
So pro-ready players.
Oh my goodness, Joe. I can't go to the gym. I can't walk the street. People are asking me, Big, what about Jimmy Horn? What about Will? What about did you see the video on Jahante with the Ravens? I said, yeah. They said, well, why are they getting so much attention? Because they're pro ready. You know, what does that mean? I said, you don't understand. With the way the money is right now for a player, the closer an owner can get to a guy he can put on the field, the more money he'll make.
Mm.
So he said, really? I said, think about how much attention those players that from Colorado just got for 2 years.
Yep.
They're bringing all their fan base to whatever team they're going to.
Mm-hmm.
So if they ball out, the owner just ends up multiplying his money. I said, who do you know as a 5th round draft pick is getting more attention than Shedeur Sanders?
Mm. Yeah.
Why? Because he's got his own media following. He don't even need the regular media. That's why a lot of them are mad at him, because he don't really need them.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
got his own media. He's got his own following. So they're not the athlete is, and see, people are missing this. So they're no longer tied to the dependence on the viewpoint of a sports writer or sports reporter.
Mm.
He's literally, well, his father, and him have literally opened the gate. That's why. So these guys that are coming to Colorado who understand, and that's what other teams are afraid of, because if they got a real player, or this player realizes, yeah, I want to go pro. He goes to Colorado. He knows he can go to Colorado, produce, get exposure, and get to the league.
Mm.
That's what is the conversation that's going on behind the scenes. It's like, man, this guy's balling every day. So they're seeing his numbers. I keep telling people, you don't get the Johnny Unitas award because they don't have nothing better to do.
Yeah.
You don't throw for what he threw and break the records that he broke because you're not good. And I had somebody going off on me, Joe, and I said, let me put it to you this way. Did Deion Sanders and Shedeur collude to make every sports writer, sports outlet rate Shedeur as a top 3 pick? He went, what? I said, did the Sanders family make all the sports outlet, did they force them to put that prediction? He said, no. So what are y'all mad at? The entities put him there. He didn't put himself there. Deion didn't put himself there. They don't have that kind of power.
Mm-mm.
The league projected him there. Mel Kiper and the rest of them put him there.
Yep.
And he was like, oh. I said, you guys got to take your brain back. You really got to put your hate down and look at the facts. I said, everybody's acting like, well, he's a 5th round. Well, if he was a 5th round, why wasn't he a 5th round to 2 years at Colorado? Why wasn't he a 5th round at the 2 years at Jackson State? I said, can you name the national champion? No. Do you know who the national champion quarterback is? No. Why? But you know who Shador is. But he's 5th round.
Yep.
So what about all the quarterbacks that got drafted before him? Where are they? How are they doing? I'm already hearing people crying right now, Joe, about the Giants and their situation. And I told you on the show, Giants ain't doing nothing for the next 4 years. And I guarantee you after this year, Dayball's out because they're going to go on 4 and whatever. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
Well, he's on a short leash as it is.
He on a choker right now. He on a choker. And they did the wrong thing. But, this is what people do.
Mm-hmm.
This is what people do. They gambled wrong with Saquon, and they fumbled it again.
Right.
And okay, you want to sell yourself that this, and I don't wish the Jackson kid I don't wish any quarterback to go to Giants right now. They've been probably one of the most unstable franchises over the last 10 years. There's no continuity.
They haven't been the same since they got rid of Coughlin.
Yeah.
Basically. So.
Yeah, it's been a very ugly show.
Well, speaking of ugly shows, I had to laugh. Dak Prescott says he wants to win a championship. Okay?
Yeah, that's what he's supposed to say.
But, if you want to win a championship, you don't take all the damn money. And I've been saying this, Tom Brady has 7 rings because of what? Because he didn't take all the money. He spread the wealth.
I can't argue with you.
Michael Jordan, he got 6 rings because what did he do? He said, I don't want all the money. Put players around me. And that's what he did. And that's why these 2 players had supporting casts to help them get to where they want to go. So when he says he wants to win a championship, I have to laugh. Okay?
Well, okay. You let me know when I can respond.
Go ahead.
Joe, what is he supposed to say?
I know.
No, stay with me. Because I'm going to say something you always say. I'm Dak Prescott, and I don't take the money. What do I know? Uncle Jed is going to screw it up. Even if he has the money. Think about it, Joe.
This is true. You're right about that.
So why should I risk me taking care of my family, when I know if I give you the discount, you're going to screw it up?
True. Yeah, you got a point there.
You're going to screw it up. So I'm going to lose twice? Nah, partner. You figured out that GM and all you fancy people up there, y'all figure it out because that's your job. I got to get my money because I'm putting my life on the line out here. And I need to be comfortable in retirement. I'm getting all that money.
Well, we'll see. He's in his 10th. He's been with the Cowboys for 10 years now. This is his 10th season coming up. So,
yeah, they brought in that young kid from the Colts, Richardson.
Yeah.
So, they're preparing. They're preparing for the transition.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. But anyway, now Jim Irsay.
Hey.
Now he died on May 21st.
The owner of the Colts?
Yes.
He did?
Yes, he did.
He was sick?
Yes, evidently he was, yes.
Oh, wow. I didn't know. Man, where was I? I missed that.
Yeah, so they're going to put him in the Colts Ring of Honor. And his daughters are going to take over the team.
Oh, wow.
Now he started at the bottom with the Colts and worked his way all the way up to ownership, right?
Really?
Yes, he did. And his daughters he's taught them the same way. They came up through the ranks working for the team, doing various jobs, and now his daughters are the owners of the team.
Wow.
And so it's going to be interesting to see how that franchise reacts, to the new ownership and what they do. So
that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah,
That was
but
there wasn't a lot of fanfare when he died.
not
But it was,
really. No, no. The only one who was
oh,
really, really trumpeting it was Peyton.
hmm,
You know, so but
wow.
so we'll just have to see how that pans out with the new ownership with his three daughters. I mean, I don't doubt their abilities because they've been ingrained into the team and they all
Hmm.
have various roles that they're going to play.
Hmm.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So
Yeah, I think they'll be all right. And it doesn't mean they're in the day to day. They may handle the business side of it.
well,
You
I
know?
think the three of them they all have different roles. I think the oldest is going to handle like the day-to-day operations. One's
Hmm.
going to handle the business side, one's going to handle the personnel side, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
so so now the NCAA settlement, you don't think it was enough?
Well, I want to pose a question. They said 2.5 billion, right?
All right.
See,
2.8.
2.8. So
Yeah.
everybody's like, "Oh, wonderful, wonderful." I said, "Well, not really." My friends are like, "What do you mean, not really? That's a lot of money." I said, "Not really." Compared to what? And I said, "You have to compare how much those players made in a specified time frame."
Mm,
I said, "What?" Yeah, you got to compare apples with apples. So you're talking about 2.8 billion, but what about if they made 25 billion? Does that sound fair to you?
mm,
They said, "Oh, I didn't think about it like that." I said, "Well, you may want to think about it." And then I don't think they went back far enough. I said I said a better settlement, in my humble opinion, would have been go back to the players of the 80s, right?
mm,
And create three levels of compensation. And then my friends were like, "Well, what do you mean?" Well, don't just you gotta reward the guys who played, who could have been All Americans, but just didn't get to shine. But they paid the price, right?
yeah,
They
yeah.
paid the price. I mean, we celebrate the receiver, the running back, the star, but it's the guys that are not the star who made the block, who
Mhm.
you know doing the grunt work, but that's not super sexy. I said they should go back to the 80s, calculate what that number they've made in that block of time, create the settlement in three parts. One, there should be a settlement piece of that where guys can, there's the cash piece, then guys can also get the education piece. Because a lot of
Mm,
guys weren't able to get their full proper education because they were so dedicated to the sport. But
right.
now that you're older, right, you realize, man, I really need that education, right?
Mm,
Then the third part would be medical.
yes.
Should be
Yes.
medical because you're 40, 50 years old now, and those injuries don't come off with the uniform. They don't.
No, not
No.
at all.
Those knees and shoulders and all that, your back and all that stuff that paid the price, you feeling it now. So in my humble opinion, it should be broken up in three parts, right?
Mm, yeah.
Because when you really look at the money, it really started in the 80s.
Mm,
College football, oh yeah, oh yeah, 80s, 90s. That's where the money hit. That's where the big money hit.
mm-hmm.
And so all those folks should be compensated in one of those three areas or all three. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
there's no, I mean, I always have to share with people. I don't even think there's 32 teams, 53 man roster. So you maybe have 500 active players in the league, per season with all the
Mm.
32 teams. I said, University of Michigan got 100 on their own coming out for the team.
Sheesh.
Ohio State easily got 100.
Mm,
There ain't
mm,
enough
mm.
jobs.
Yeah. Yeah.
There ain't enough jobs. So, there should be other options given to these athletes who are paying the ultimate price with their body and their time to get a shot and an opportunity. That's just my 2 cents, Joe. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah. Well. we'll see how that works out with them, the way they divvy up that money, and
That's gonna be a problem. Who gets it? Does the superstar get it? Do the linemen get it? Do the receivers get it? Does the running back get it? What do you say now? Well, I'm the Heisman Trophy winner in my era, so I should get more money. How are you gonna do that? That's why I think they should spread out the compensation.
Well, we'll have to see how that plays out.
Come on, Mr. NBA, because I know you got something because they playing tonight.
Well, it took Shea his 35 points and a defense that finally stepped up to win game 4 and keep them out of a 3-1 hole. So
yes, sir.
Now,
yes, sir.
The Cavs are the only team in finals history to come back from 3-1 when they beat Golden State in 2016. So yeah, it's back in OKC now, and it's going to be interesting to see if they can keep the momentum up after this, coming off of this win.
That's the test. That's the test, Joe.
No, we'll have to see, and see if Shea lives up to his MVP caliber.
Well, I put it to you this way. In order for Shea to be that, everybody else got to play. In order for Halliburton to be that, everybody else got to play. It's who does not do that is going to lose.
Exactly. That's the way it's been. That's the way it's been. So we'll see. We'll see. But
matter of fact, it may be going on right now.
Hey. So now the Knicks, they plan on meeting with former Kings coach Mike Brown and Grizzlies coach Taylor Jenkins this week. So I mean, this was from the get. This was like so ill-conceived. A couple of days after they lose, they fire Tibbs without a plan. Then they go to all of these teams that have their coaches under contract and want to talk to them. And the teams just said, take a long walk off a short pier.
Yeah.
So, now Mike Brown, he made a strong impression the last time they interviewed him in 20, but Tibbs evidently got the job. So now they're bringing him back. And they're saying that that the door might be still gently open for Jason Kidd. I
don't know why you just don't just give Mark Jackson and let Mark Jackson do his thing. Chris Carter said something interesting today. He felt that Mark Jackson wasn't adaptable enough like Tibbs. And I disagree with him. I think at a certain point, Mark was not as adaptable. But I think he's more adaptable, at this point, right? And because it's hard to look at your coach who's done it at the highest level and not believe, right? Yeah. And I said this, which was interesting. Someone else said Tibbs wasn't very good at taking care of the health of his players because he would run them into the ground.
Yeah.
And I said, John Sally said that in an interview. And I said, yeah, because he thinks he's in high school. He thinks he's in high school. You can't play 82 games at that level and put that level of stress in your body without it breaking down. And Sally said the last 2 games the Knicks played, Brunson, you could tell, was spent. He had nothing in the gas tank.
Yeah. Well, see, that's because he never trusted his bench,
which makes no sense to me.
Especially
after what happened down last year. So you're gonna do the exact same thing you did last year and come up short?
Yeah, with a healthy team this time.
Yeah, lack of adaptability. How are you going to win? And as Sally said, he just got out-coached by Carlisle.
Yes, he did. Carlisle did a masterful job.
Out-coached him.
And Carlisle used his bench, and he had a deep bench too.
Yeah, you can't play no 82 games with 5. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? That don't even make no sense.
Well, we'll have to see what they come up with this week because the interviews are starting with those two. and then we'll just have to see what happens. But we'll come back with that next week.
Next week, my friend, like we always say on Smarterfan Podcast.
Stay in the game.
Stay in the game. Have a good one, folks. See you next week.
All right. Good night, y'all.
Smarterfan.